All right, so I'm gonna quickly give you an overview, Sean, of these builders, and then I'm gonna get you to give an overview of yourself, because these guys are super excited. So these builders, by the way, are majority of them are in Pakistan, some are abroad as well. We started the builder program, and there was, I think, over 400 applications. Even though there was an application form with these tests and everything, over 400 people applied. We only have spots for 30, so these are the 30 best out of those 400 scored in Pakistan. So very talented guys for sure, and they're super excited, super dedicated to build on Web3. And once I told them that you guys are gonna do a session with them, they have been just asking me every day about when, when it's now. So Sean, how about you go ahead and give them a introduction of yourself, so they get even more excited, and then we'll start the session.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, so my name is Sean Watase. I'm a DevRel at Thirdweb, and as probably majority of you know, I do a lot of the YouTube content for Thirdweb. So if you've seen my face on a bunch of videos and everything, it's because I'm the one that's putting out the guides, tutorials, how to build with Thirdweb and everything on a YouTube channel, along with some of the other social channels as well. But yeah, no, thank you guys for having me. I'm excited to, kind of give an introduction and kind of really show some of the tools and everything that we have at Thirdweb. I'm not gonna cover like everything. Maybe we can get, maybe another workshop or something later if you folks want to go more in depth and everything. But we'll start kind of more on the high level side of, all the tools that Thirdweb has to offer, because there are quite a bit of tools that sometimes, we find that not everyone knows about. You probably know a section or two of the things that we have to offer, but out there where we consider ourselves a full stack developer platform for Web3 developers. So that's what we're going to get into today.
Awesome. So I'm just gonna let you start up and just do the session, and then after that, then we can take some questions or whatever that you guys need, or some requests for next workshops.
Awesome. Like, let me get my share my screen real quick. Cool. Everyone see my screen? Is that good?
Yeah, I can see.
Cool. Awesome. So yeah, I'll just start off kind of giving a brief overview of Thirdweb, just in case anyone here isn't familiar with Thirdweb and what we do. I like to start with our product mission, and essentially we're making the internet more open and valuable for builders and users. So again, we're a full stack Web3 developer platform where we're trying to help builders build Web3 applications. One thing that we like to talk about at Thirdweb is this whole kind of build loop of build, ship, and iterate. The space moves so quickly, and there's so much new things always coming out, that the ability to build quickly, get it to your users, and then get their feedback and make iterations and improve on those things is very important in the space, and it helps your product and everything grow. So for those of you, like most of you said, you're studying me on YouTube and everything. At Thirdweb, we've worked with thousands and thousands of developers. We have over 70,000, developers who have used Thirdweb, over 1 million contracts deployed, over 1.7 million active wallets that have interacted with contracts that have been deployed with Thirdweb. We worked with, big brands across the board. You can see some of them down here. And yeah, we are someone who is in the space, always creating these new tools and ways for people to, again, easily and quickly build Web3 applications. So I'm going to do kind of a quick overview of what Thirdweb has to offer as far as tools and everything. And then we'll kind of jump into the two areas that I like to introduce with Thirdweb. And it's kind of the first, I would say, the first starting point to building any type of application or game or whatever it is that you're building in the Web3 space, which is one, onboarding and connecting your users to your application. And then the second one is being able to interact with contracts through your application, whether that's deploying contracts or reading data, writing data to the blockchain, all of those things. Those are kind of the two areas that I want to cover in today's session. But kind of a quick overview. Thirdweb, we're a full stack Web3 developer platform, and we break down our kind of categories of tools that we have into three parts. We have the front end, which is our Connect SDK. This is for, connecting wallets, creating front ends for your users. Then we have the back end part, which is a tool that we have called Engine, which allows you to have like contract APIs and basically interact with the blockchain through API calls. And then we have the on-chain part, which is our contracts. And if you've ever used Thirdweb before, we have a handful of pre-built smart contracts that you can deploy to any EVM compatible blockchain. And it just takes a few simple clicks, making sure that you have a wallet with the network set up. You have some testnet funds you can deploy to testnet, mainnet, all within a few clicks, and it's super easy to use. So kind of going more in depth into each one, again, the front end side, that's our Connect SDK. This is going to give you everything from Connect components to allow users to connect to your application. So we have our Connect button, which user can connect with wallets that they're familiar with. They can connect with in-app wallets. This is what we created to allow users to sign in with social logins, email, mobile phone number, passkeys, and this essentially generates a wallet for the user who then can use that wallet to interact with your application without having to go and set up a Coinbase or MetaMask or Rainbow Wallet elsewhere. And we also have things like Thirdweb Pay, which allows people to on-ramp crypto to their wallet that they have connected, and a bunch of other tools. We also have again our SDKs, which we have SDKs for TypeScript, React, Unity, React Native as well for mobile. So no matter what platform you're building your application on, you have all those SDKs to help you again build those things. The
Awesome.
second,
And just a quick question, and these are for all devices as well, right? Like desktop, mobile, and everything.
Yes. Yep. So everything would be for multiple any device or platform. So React and React Native covers across the board on that. And for Unity, Unity is you can do it on any device or platform. So browser, native desktop game, or mobile as well. Cool. And yeah, and then the backend part, this is a tool that we have called Engine. Again, this is just dedicated APIs for your Web3 apps and games, basically allowing you to interact with the blockchain through APIs. So kind of two parts in this. One, it can help your application scale if you are growing app or game, and maybe you have a lot of throughput or transactions going through. Engine's going to help you, one, be able to manage all those transactions for your users, and you can provide a better user experience to your user because you don't have to have them go through all the clunky wallet stuff on the front end. You can just have them make an API call to a wallet, and that wallet will then transact everything within Engine. It's also a great, on the other end, not only for the user experience, but for the developer experience. You don't have to fully, I guess, learn Web3, all the different things of, interacting with the wallets and everything on the Web3 side. If you're someone maybe coming from the Web2 world, coming into Web3 and you're familiar with interacting with APIs, Engine is very similar to that. You do have to still kind of understand the concept of reading data or writing or executing a function to the blockchain, but how you actually execute it is much simpler. You just, make whatever calls you need to, and you can then interact with the blockchain. And then finally, again, we have our contracts, which is the on-chain section. And that's going to be through our pre-built smart contracts that we have at Thirdweb. So if you're looking to deploy ERC20, ERC721, 1155s, marketplace contracts, staking contracts, any type of, those general contracts that you've, probably seen out there. We do have pre-built audited versions of those that you can deploy. And we'll go through kind of the deployment process as well too, so you folks are familiar with it. But those are the three sections. Again, the front end, the back end, and the on-chain aspect that we like to cover here at Thirdweb. So I guess, yeah, before I go on, is there any questions?
Yeah, sure. Sorry, it might be again. I had this question today from one of the teammates. I thought might just to ask you on the call here. The smart contract templates, is there one for like creating a DAO as well, or DAO tooling?
We do have a DAO one. We do have a DAO one. I'll be honest though, it hasn't. We have like a DAO and voting smart contract. They are available. They haven't been given love for quite some time. They are going to get some love within the next couple of months. But yes, there is one. But also, yes, in a couple of months there will be a little bit more attention given to them and updated. So
awesome. I'll let them know, so they'll be looking forward to it. We'll make sure you
yeah.
give them some love so we can use it.
Cool. So yeah, that was oh, go ahead. There was one more question that came up.
I have
Okay,
another question. Can you guys
So
hear me?
Farzan, if you sorry, if you don't mind, actually, it's just right now we're just gonna let him run through, and we'll ask all the builders all the questions right at the end of the call. This is just me as a host asking him quick questions. Go
No
ahead.
problem. Sounds good.
Sure.
Cool. So yeah, that was a quick overview again of Thirdweb, the different areas and tools that we have to again provide you with this full stack development platform. So the next things I wanted to share was, one, getting started. I don't know kind of where everyone is within their projects and everything, but I guess if you haven't started yet, or maybe you're going to start a different project or another project later on, or play around with things, I just want to give some getting started steps that you can take. This includes like templates, repos, and everything that you can check out. So as far as templates go, you can actually go to thirdweb.com/templates. I'll just zoom in just a bit for you folks. And over here, we have a bunch of ready to ship templates, templates that you can check out as well. So there are some Unity games and everything here that you can check out. You can see like this one here, Pioneer. It goes over things like account abstraction, session keys and storage. Take Flight takes care of account abstraction, onboarding with social, on-chain scoring. So you can kind of see what the demo includes. The templates include. Inside there, you can click on it. There's a demo and the link to the repo. So if you want to try it out to see what it looks like, and then if you want to view the repo and see how it actually was built, you can do that. Or you can just clone the repo here. You can just copy that and it'll give you a clone of that. At the bottom, there's some other examples as well. If you're looking for other game examples, we have Web3 Warriors, Cat Attack, and Speed Racer here. So Web3 Warriors, this is kind of our go-to demo when demoing like Unity games and everything. Cat Attack, more so a game built for a browser. So this is using our TypeScript SDK. And then Speed Racer here, this is a build using Unreal Engine and Thirdweb's engine on the back end to kind of take care of the on-chain aspect. So definitely would say check out these three depending on what you're building for, Unity, browser, or Unreal. And then if you're looking for other things, we have NFT drops marketplaces. And then I would say check those out. And then we also have starter templates as well. So if you're looking to just start and get a template to start building with Node, Expo, Vite, or Next.js, you can just check out those starters here. Or you can, let me just come back to my slide here real quick. You can just run npx thirdweb create app. It'll ask you, what framework you want to select. You can select it, and then it'll get you started with the starter template, which is really good because it will have everything set up for you from the SDK, depending on the framework you choose. All you need to input is your Thirdweb API key. And from there, you have a working application, and you can just go ahead and build your game or app within that. So I wanted to share those again. Thirdweb.com/templates. Oh, sorry, I forgot to show one more area. And then Thirdweb dash example on GitHub is our templates repository. So you can check out all the repos here of different things that we have here, from the templates to, example or demo builds, all those different types of things. You can check them out. A great source, I would say, to kind of get ideas and kind of see how things and how Thirdweb's SDK works and is built. So again, check that out. I'll drop all these links in the comments and everything, and I'll share them afterwards so you folks have access to them as well.
Awesome.
Cool. So yeah, those are areas I would say getting started. Check it out. The templates, our GitHub repos, and then of course, like I said, just npx Thirdweb create app, select your framework, and you can start building your applications.
Awesome.
Cool.
Do you want to take any questions at this point? Would that be a right time?
Yeah, you know what? We'll take questions now, and then we can move on to the next section. So yeah, I'll take some questions now.
Farzan, go ahead. You're first. But speak louder.
Sure. Can you guys hear me properly?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. My question was, a few slides back you mentioned a payment SDK, an in-app payment SDK. So my question was, is that like a fiat to crypto on-ramp service that you guys are offering?
Yes. So it is a fiat to crypto on-ramp. Currently, right now, we have. I don't think we have full road coverage yet. But if you go to our docs, I'll link. Let me take note. I'll link that. Give a link to that as well. And then you can keep updated on when we're slowly trying to get and add full road coverage, and we're slowly adding different cryptos and chains as well. So you can check out the doc, and up there we'll have all the updated information as far as what is supported.
Right. Thanks. I have another question that is regarding open source. Is there like an open source community that you guys have that we can contribute to, etc.?
Yeah. I would say the repo itself, so our GitHubs, and I would say right now Discord is probably the community area where we're going to have a bunch of the people who are working on the open source stuff that want to communicate with the engineering team, get feedback, or have questions about the current SDKs and everything. In there is so I know our Discord has a lot of channels. In the Discord, there is an alpha section and an alpha builder section. And in there will be all the chats and everything on the different SDKs. And they're kind of categorized and everything.
Nice. Anyone else have
Hello?
any other questions? Hello,
I'm audible? Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Okay. So, sir, are there any limitation when using templates in Thirdweb?
What do you mean by limitations?
Access, limited access, or boundaries?
Number of requests or something like that?
No, yeah. So all the templates are open source, free to use. It's the full template and everything that you'll have access to. The only thing that in every template is you'll have to, if you clone the template, you'll have to input your own API key, your own smart contracts and everything. And then the README will have all the things that you have to replace and the contracts and everything you would have to deploy to make it work. So no limitations or boundaries as far as that goes. You're just gonna have to replace those items and aspects with your own.
Okay, sir. Got it. Thank you.
Okay, since there's no more hands raised, we're gonna just move on.
Awesome. So yeah, the next part wanted to go over, the next two sections is, again, the kind of two important things I think are the starting points when building a gamer app is, one, connecting your users, and then two, interacting on chain with your smart contract. So connecting your users and everything, I wanted to go over our Connect SDK. So let me just pull up this one. Yeah. So with Thirdweb, we have a UI component called the Connect button. It's available in the React SDK. It's available in the React Native SDK. It's also available in the Unity SDK as well. And this component is essentially out of the box connect button for your users to connect a wallet to your application. And the one thing I want to cover here is the different onboarding flows or the different onboarding methods that you can provide your users to connect a wallet to your application to start playing your game or playing your app. And so the first one I'll cover is, let me just zoom in so you folks can see a little bit, is the traditional flow. So the traditional flow, this is, someone's able to connect with a wallet like a MetaMask, Coinbase, or Rainbow here. They can connect it to your application and, let me connect. There you go. So they're connected and they click the wallet that they want to connect to, they approve it in their wallet, and they're connected to your app. You can see here, this is a little code snippet. This is using our React SDK, but it's the same across React Native as well. And Unity, there's a prefab that you can kind of just click and drag into your game hierarchy that provides you with all this. But this connect button, if you're building on React Native, is all you need to plug in. It gives you the connect button UI component with all the different options your users can use to connect. Now, that traditional one, a user connects, one, they have to be familiar with wallets, right? They need to know what a MetaMask wallet or something is. They need to have created one. And then the second thing too is if they want to interact or execute transactions, they're going to need funds in that wallet as well in order to pay for things like gas and stuff like that. So there are a few different options. So one, there's two pain points, right? There's the creating the wallet aspect where user needs to go out and actually create a wallet, which they need to learn about. And then they need the second part is they need to fund their wallet, right? They need to know where to get some crypto for the chain that they're interacting with to, again, execute transactions. So we have a few different tools here with Thirdweb. First one is the in-app wallet. So in-app wallet essentially allows a user to authenticate with a social login, email, phone number, or passkey. And ideally, that is going to generate the user a wallet that they can then start interacting with the blockchain or interacting with your game or app with. And all you need to do here is, one line of code is just add the wallets that are supported within the button here, which is, in-app wallet. And what that will give you is, again, social login, email, phone number, and passkey. And a user can just sign in with one of these. So if I hit passkey, I can use my fingerprint here on my laptop. A wallet is generated for me. And now that kind of tackles the first pain point, right, of a user having to generate or create a wallet in order to connect to your app. We can create something for the user by using something that they're familiar with by authenticating social login and all those different things. We still have the second pain point though of they have to fund this wallet, right? It's a newly created wallet and it's not going to have anything in it when it's created. So a user still has to go and find where they can get the token that they need, make sure that they can buy it, transfer it to their wallet. So that's still another pain point that a user will still have to go through. We do have some other options like pay and everything that you can implement to help kind of ease that process. But that's still the secondary pain point within that flow. So then we have account abstraction. So I'm not going to get too deep into account abstraction, but for those of you who don't know, essentially account abstraction allows us to generate a wallet via a smart contract. So your wallet, a user's wallet, is essentially a smart contract. This allows us to do a few things. One, we can kind of control the logic of what the smart contract or the wallet can do or interact with. And it also allows us to sponsor gas or pay for gas on behalf of the user. So instead of the user having to pay for gas, we can kind of supplement on the developer or app side and pay for the gas for the user. So you can see here, we can quickly and easily add account abstraction. you just add account abstraction, define the chain that your account abstraction is going to be on. Again, account abstraction is a smart contract wallet, so we need to define the chain that the smart contract is being deployed to. And then we can say if we want to sponsor gas or not. So we can set that to true or false. So what this allows us to do is tackle that second part, right? We can now pay for gas and fund gas for the user. User doesn't need to worry about, getting an on-ramping their token or crypto that they need to execute transactions. So I can come here, I can connect with a MetaMask wallet. It's going to create me a smart account. So in our component here, you can see it's defined as a smart account here. This is a different wallet address from my actual MetaMask wallet. I don't have any funds here, but because sponsor gas is turned to true, I can actually execute transactions and interact with the blockchain without having to pay for gas. The gas is going to be taken care of on the developer side. Now, again, that tackled the second part of the funding. I still have to connect a MetaMask wallet or a Coinbase wallet or a Wallet Connect wallet. I still need to create a wallet to connect to the application, although I do get gas sponsored for me. And that comes to the fourth kind of method here of combining in-app wallets with Web2 authentication methods with account abstraction. We can actually abstract away the whole complexity of connecting a user to your application. So if I click here, again, I'm just prompted with signing in or authenticating with Google email, phone number, or passkey. I'll say passkey here. That creates me a smart account here. You can see if we take a look at this wallet address, which is A615. I'm just going to really quickly do this. So if I just go back to the regular wallet with my fingerprint, you can see this one ends in FA5F. So completely different wallet address. That is because it is a smart account. And with that, again, I can sign in with these Web2 familiar auths, and then I can generate a account abstraction or a smart account, sponsor gas for my user. So now on the front end of a user, I sign in with something I'm already familiar with, and I can interact with the blockchain without having to fund a wallet, pay for gas, or anything like that. Now, of course, that was this is a very general example. Now, you may not want to cover gas for like everything that your user does, right? Because you're going to be paying for all of that, or maybe you do. But the great thing with account abstraction and smart accounts is, again, they're smart contracts. So we can control the logic in the Thirdweb dashboard. You can actually maybe put in the contracts that the smart account will actually get gas covered or sponsored for. So you can put in only your contracts and everything, or maybe it's only certain contracts within your game or app that you want to have the actual gas covering. So you can do that. You can set limits to how much gas per day or anything that you want to cover for your users. So maybe you're going to say, hey, we're only going to cover, X amount of gas per day per user. You can put that limitation in everything as well. So again, account abstraction comes with all those perks and benefits of being a smart contract. You have the ability to control the logic and everything of those wallets. So again, those are different flow types, and depending on your user, right? Because you folks know your users the best on what method is right for them, right? Is it a fully traditional way of everyone playing my game or using my app knows what a wallet is, should know what a wallet is? You don't have to add all of these things to it. Versus maybe I'm trying to onboard new users who have never experienced this space or this technology before to my app or game. You can go all the way to the Web2 authentication and account abstraction methods.
Yeah, these are super amazing. Actually, the fourth option is super suitable for some of the game projects that people are working on. And I think Khizr just mentioned on the chat that most of the people building on Vanar, the gas fees is super, super cheap, right? So, I mean, they don't mind sponsoring it because, again, it's just such a fluent. The fourth method you showed is just killer, right? Because it's got like the social sign-ons and then the gas sponsorship combined. So that's awesome, man. Magical.
Yeah, and it's truly, you know, again, I tell people it's the ability to, once you use it, you sign in. It's kind of hard because, you know, we know exactly what we're seeing. We know that a wallet is being created. We know that, oh, this is account abstraction and we're sponsoring gas. But to a user who has never used this stuff before, it will seem like no different from any other app that they used, right? They sign in with their Google account or something, or their Apple ID, or they use your email for a one-time password, and they can just, you know, click buttons and do things within your app or game that you want them to do. So again, yeah, fourth option with the combination of in-app and account abstraction is super powerful. But you also have all those in-betweens as well, right? Maybe, you know, there are people who want to be able to connect to your application. Maybe they don't know what these things are. You can provide them in-app options, but maybe there's someone who is a little bit more familiar with, you know, interacting with the blockchain. They have a MetaMask wallet, and maybe they want to be able to control a smart account or account abstraction with their MetaMask wallet. You can still provide them the options to do that as well. So again, you know your users the best, or you know who your target audience is, and you can build that flow according to what their needs are. On top of that, let me just I'm gonna pull up YouTube.
And I
really
love the
quick.
limit part as well. Actually, I was in a meeting today, and all of these guys are working on different dApp projects that they're building. So again, requirements, as you said, are different. They can choose whatever they want. But on the fourth option, the limit thing that you said, that, you know, we can sponsor a certain limit of gas a day per contract. That's also very powerful, right? We don't have to manually keep track of that or keep a pool and manage that.
Yeah, and that's the great part with account abstraction and everything, is you get all of that ability. And, you know, there could be that, you know, argument of, you know, you don't have the full freedom of using the wallet in a certain way. But again, you have that configuration to customize and provide the best user experience, which I think, you know, by far is going to help you onboard, you know, new users, if not the most users, to your gamer application, is if you can provide that user experience where, you know, a user doesn't need any money to get started, but maybe down the line, right, then you start to introduce, okay, hey, these smart contracts, you know, in maybe the introduction section of my game or something, is free and sponsored gas. But in order to interact with these smart contracts, you know, we don't cover gas for these. So you're going to have to fund your wallet somehow, or, you know, you can create those methods and everything, but the user should already be locked into your game because you provided all of that, you know, sponsored gas and free stuff within the beginning. So yeah, you can play around with it. And that's the great thing, is, you know, we give you all of those controls and things that you can do within the account abstraction. Another thing I want to add is we just posted this video like last week, but custom login flows as well. So we do have, like I said, the connect button and everything in here. That is a pre-built UI component, a prefab within the Unity SDK, but we give you all the low-end tools as well to create your own flow. So if you want to create your own UI, your own experience or anything, we give you all the low-end tools to essentially build this connect button from scratch, and you can build it how you please. So you can check out that latest video on the YouTube channel. It kind of goes over the different options and everything. I don't make a very pretty button, but I give you the examples and everything on how you can actually build something.
Nice, very nice.
Cool. And that's kind of the section for like connecting users. I'll take questions here before we go into the last section. So if there's any questions, I'll take them now.
If nobody else has any questions, I do. So you guys go first. Okay, Muntazir, go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
We can hear you.
Okay, sir. So, can you name some decks that are built using the Thirdweb platform?
Sorry, try it one more time.
Could you
You
provide
said
examples of any successful decentralized exchanges that have been built using Thirdweb?
Decentralized exchanges. We have a few. I would say, as far as exchanges go, I'll grab a few and share them. So I'll put note of it to share it. I just want to make sure that the ones that I share, I can share. And then also we do have a lot of exchanges that people use within like their own ecosystem or community or game as well. So I'll grab some of those as well. But yeah, I'll share some of the links and everything with everything else that I'm sharing in here as well. I'll just take note of that.
awesome.
Oh, okay, sir. So, if I want to build a decks using Thirdweb, so what kind of features I'm gonna get?
So the decks, you can fully build your own decks. Now, one thing that we don't supply is we don't have a contract if you're looking to deploy your own smart contract for a DEX or anything. We don't have a pre-built audited contract for that. But as far as everything else, you can fully build the UI and everything for the DEX. If you want to use, say like Uniswap or anything, we have extensions and hooks within our SDK that allow you to easily interact with the functions in Uniswap or anything. So I'll pull it up really quick. So again, if you're looking, sorry, I can't zoom in a little bit. If you're looking to use like a Uniswap and interact with their contracts, you have all these quick functions and hooks that you can use here to create pools, enable free mounts. So if you're looking to do that, I'll link this as well down in the after this. But again, if you're looking to build your own decks, you would still have to build your own smart contract or something like that. Thirdweb doesn't have any pre-built ones that you can just deploy.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right. Okay, Imad, go ahead.
Yeah, I had a question. Hi, Sean. Amazing session, by the way. I just wanted to ask that recently we were discussing all the library contracts that are present on your platform. And while deploying any of them, there are sort of two prompts that we have to do using MetaMask. First, the contract itself is deployed, and then we have to sign a message. And essentially, I think proxy contracts are being used in most of the contracts. So could you tell, because most of the people over here, I think they're not as good with proxy contracts, so it would be a good session for them as well. And also, I wanted to know the whole purpose of the proxy contract over there, and plus, can we utilize the updating of the contract using that proxy contract, or is it just for Thirdweb?
Yeah, okay. So I don't want to. So sorry, let me just find my words here to explain this.
You can keep it very simple. Like, I don't want you to get into detail either.
Or I want to keep it simple, but at the same time, like I mentioned, we're going to be showing a lot of love. Okay, I can explain it like this. We're going to be showing a lot of love to our contracts in the near future. So essentially, we wrote an EIP earlier about dynamic contract and being able to modify and change contracts. We kind of are expanding from that EIP that was submitted by one of our engineers, and we are working on improving and changing our contracts and the way they are. So I would say within the near future, there will be a change to the contracts and everything how they are structured, basically, how you see them in Thirdweb right now. So yeah, just know that, sorry, I'm just trying not to say too much, but just know that things are changing. And as far as, like you mentioned, the being able to modify and kind of update the contract itself, as far as like the proxy goes, we're going to kind of move that functionality to the user, because right now, as of right now, Thirdweb has the ability to update those contracts and everything, but we want to give that to the actual developers and builders to actually structure their contracts and everything the way that they want to structure them. So that is something that we're coming out with and that we're going to provide the user. So without giving too much of what is coming, I'll kind of leave it at that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
All right, we'll just take one more question so we can finish the session in time and then have Q&A. Yazid, go ahead.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you listen me?
You have to, I can hear you now
Yes.
better.
Okay, you can. I am making a crime DAO now, and I will deploy it. I will deploy this contract as a proxy contract. Now I want to ask, I want to connect my smart contract with GPT, where user can give prompt, and it will work like a it will work like a prompt. That's why I think I want to know about it. How can I connect with GPT to my smart contract? I want to make my own GPT.
Okay, and would you say more like you want to connect GPT to your smart contract as what would the functionality of
Yes.
for prompts?
Yes. User want to register and it will be registered by GPT in a smart contract.
Okay, and then sorry, and just to get a better understanding, so user, in what way is the GPT interacting with the smart contract? Or I guess like what did you want to happen?
You want to know what I am going to happen? I just
user
want to
So
ask.
user, yeah.
The first thing is that we have a smart contract where user can register and the investigator can register. I want to know how they can register by GPT. They will give prompt and data will be go to the smart contract by using GPT. Recently, we have made a quiz app and it was working. It was working by GPT, and what it was what it is doing. So what should I say? I have no word for it. When someone
I think the simple question is here that does Thirdweb, any of the templates or perhaps in any of the plugins or functions that you guys have, do they actually provide any kind of samples or examples of connectivity to ChatGPT?
yes, I know. I will not.
Yes, we do have some examples of connecting to GPT. I'll explain the examples and I'll take note of to provide this as well.
Perfect.
But what those examples will show is kind of more so, so like one example that we have with GPT is kind of a like story-based game where, you know, GPT is telling you a story. It configures the story. It has like a general knowledge of what the story should be, but it kind of creates its own thing. And through certain responses to GPT, it'll trigger an API call to Engine, which will then like mint an NFT or, you know, purchase something with the available tokens you have and things like that. So
Yes.
that's kind of one example that we have. But yeah, I'll share that repo, that example repo with all the resources and everything as well.
Perfect. Awesome, guys. The rest of the question we're going to do later. Yasif, just mute yourself and we can continue, Sean.
Cool. So yeah, the next part is smart contracts. So again, the two things I want to cover is one, the onboarding part, right? Getting users connected to your game or app, and then the interacting with the smart contracts and everything. So on top of smart contracts, I'll quickly go over some of the pre-built smart contracts here, so you folks can see it. We just sign into Thirdweb here. So if you sign into Thirdweb, we come into our contracts, and let's refresh this if it loads. Of course, when I'm doing a presentation, there you go. Okay, so if we deploy smart contract, you come to our contracts, you come to our Explore page or tab here on the left. These are the pre-built contracts that I'm talking about. So you can search, like in the NFT section, we have quite a few different NFT smart contracts from ERC 721s, 1155s. We have loyalty cards, which are essentially 721s that give access to like manipulating or changing the metadata. And we have a bunch of different ones. Now you can see some of them are audited, which are ones that have been audited through Thirdweb, have been audited and built by Thirdweb. And then we have some other ones too that people are, you know, adding in or have created, which is something else that we're looking forward to adding, you know, to our smart contracts, is kind of creating a area where people can build and share contracts that they have built. But on top of NFT smart contracts, again, we have marketplaces, we have account abstraction. So these are if you're looking to customize or build, again, like the different logics and everything within account abstraction to your smart accounts. You can deploy your own account of factory smart contracts that deploy those smart contract wallets for your users. We have airdrops, we have staking, and then, like, again, we have DAO and governance from voting, tokens, splitting and distributing funds. These ones, again, haven't been updated for some time, but you can still use them, and they do have some great functionality as well. With that, you can also take any of these smart contracts and then you can build upon them too, right? So using Thirdweb's CLI, you can create your own environment to build your own smart contracts, and you can actually deploy them through Thirdweb too. So if you're familiar with Hardhat or Forge or something, you know, one of the, I guess, security things when deploying with it is you have to, you know, supply your private key and everything to deploy your smart contracts. And then, you know, sometimes you may have heard, you know, people pushing their repos up to GitHub or something, and then, you know, not removing or exposing their private keys to their wallets. With Thirdweb, we like to share our way of, you know, using our CLI and using actually Thirdweb's dashboard to deploy. So just how you would deploy any of these smart contracts, you can actually use the dashboard to deploy your own pre-built or your own built smart contracts as well, without having to expose your private keys or anything like that. So yeah, that is on one side of being able to deploy smart contracts. And then the other side that I want to share is how to, you know, being able to read and write data to these smart contracts as well. So within our SDK, we give you all of the, we give you really easy tools and functions to read contract data as well as read contract events. So right over here, you can see that this is connected to an ERC20 smart contract. It shows the total supply of the contract, which is 90. It'll also show the total supply of a connected wallet. In this case, it is 0. Events on the right-hand side here, this is just getting events of the USDC contract on ETH. So you can see the two from the transaction hash, the amount, all of that information. And then just to show you folks here, what this looks like as far as reading functions or reading data from your smart contracts within our React SDK or TypeScript SDK, I should say, you can see here, and it's similar to using our Unity SDK as well. We can get our contract and we can simply use the read contract here. We provide it with the contract we want to read the function, read the data from, and then we provide the method or function that we want to use to read that data. And it's as simple as that. So you can see within a few lines of code here, I can get all right here. I can get data from my smart contract and display it within my application. Same thing goes for events. We actually just have a use contract events hook that you can use within our TypeScript SDK, and you can provide it the contract, the event that it should be reading. In this case for USDC, it's the transfer event, and then you can provide a block range too if you want to filter out or anything within the event itself. You can do that, and again, few lines of code, and you now have that data to display within your application. So again, being able to interact with smart contracts within your app or game, super easy to do. And then we also make it easy to interact with the blockchain as well. So if I come to the send transaction one, over here, these are actually, I shouldn't show that. I should show this. Interacting with the blockchain. Again, we have all the necessary tools from being able to prepare transactions. So this is an example of sending a raw transaction or just sending like a native token from wallet to wallet. We can essentially use a prepare transaction here, display, select the chain, the contract or the wallet that it's going to, and then the amount, and that can execute a raw transaction or prepare a raw transaction, and then we can send that transaction. We also have ways to wait for the receipt, so we can wait till the transaction actually goes through, get the information from that transaction and everything as well. And again, I can provide resources and links to the documentations on how you can do this. And then creating contract calls are super easy. You prepare a contract call, the contract, and then the method or function, the method and function that you want to execute. And then you can send the transaction and as well wait for a receipt to know when the transaction actually goes through and get back all the information. So again, few lines of code just like that. You can call any function from your smart contract. You can execute it. You can read the data from your smart contract. And again, similar, this is again within the TypeScript SDK, but very similar use cases within the Unity SDK as well. So again, we give you all the tools that you need to quickly and easily interact with these smart contracts. That way, you can get these features and functions out to your users much quicker, get their feedback, and make iterations and improve your game or app within. So yeah, that kind of covers that. If there's any questions here, I know we're coming close to time, that's why. So I'll take any final questions and everything. And yeah.
Is there any more? Is this the end of what you were going to present, or is there more after this?
No, this was kind of the end, but I'll definitely like share all the resources and everything, or maybe I'll send the resources to you folks, and then that way it's in one place and it doesn't disappear or anything.
Awesome. So yeah, we'll take as many questions as we can in the next 5 minutes then, without running late. Sorry, there was a hand raised. Khizr, go ahead, Khizr.
All right. So, Jean, my question was, as the Thirdweb is gradually growing, and it will take some time to mature when the time passes. So, my question here is, if we run into some problems while building our dApps with using Thirdweb, how can we get help from Thirdweb or the community?
Yeah. So, two places I would say. One, check out our Discord. We do have an area, a feedback section where people are kind of just leaving more, I would say, not as time sensitive issues. Maybe they're looking for some feedback on an issue or something. We have a threads kind of section within our Discord under feedback that you can go check out there. But if it is more of a time sensitive issue and you're looking to get more in direct contact with our support team, if you go to thirdweb.com/support, you can open up a ticket there. You can fill out the information and everything for that, and it'll be directed to the proper engineer or support engineer.
Nice, guys. Again, I have a question parked still, so if anybody else has a question, just raise your hand. Otherwise, while you guys think, I'll go ahead. All right, so I have a question just for understanding. So for account abstraction, and Yazid will just get back to you on that. For account abstraction, we were seeing that it's going to make a wallet for the user in the background, right? Say with social login. So if I log in with my Google ID, what it is doing is actually creating a wallet in the backend for game A. If I have already created a wallet in game A using my email ID, and I log into another game that's using the same social login method with the same Google ID, would Thirdweb Gen use the same wallet that was created in that first game, or would that be two different wallets created?
So it depends. So when you create a wallet with social login or email or something like that, it is using our in-app wallets. And essentially, in-app wallets are scoped to an application or game via your Thirdweb API key. So that is what those wallets are scoped to. So if you have an API key with game A, it generates you, say, wallet, 0x1234. If you have a different game that is using a different API key and they sign in with the same Google account, it will create them a different wallet, so 0x5678. But we are also introducing ecosystem wallets, so you can now kind of have a parent, I guess, like ecosystem, right? And then you can provide different API keys that belong under that ecosystem. So if they are within the same ecosystem, they share the same wallet addresses for social logins, emails, and things like that. So know if it's a general sense of like, I don't know, like, let me say I build a game, you build a game, and we never talk to each other, and someone signed in with their Google accounts, it would be two different wallet addresses. But say we are building under, and we communicate that we're building under like a game studio, or we're building under one umbrella, we could create an ecosystem wallet where I have my API key, you have your API key, but anyone who signs into our games via Google or email share the same wallet addresses.
So would that, and this is now an extreme example, that if we get the Vanar builders to work under the same ecosystem and give, would that, at that scale, would that actually work? Where like,
yes,
it would. Amazing. So maybe that's something to think about, is creating a community kind of where everybody builds under the same umbrella, and then that way the users don't have to go through this process or keep track of all the wallets again and again. Crazy.
Correct.
Amazing. Thanks. Yazib, go ahead.
I want to ask, what is the difference between Thirdweb and OpenZeppelin? Why we should use Thirdweb?
Sorry, come one more time.
I think what he's asking is comparing Thirdweb to OpenZeppelin and asking you why Thirdweb and not OpenZeppelin.
Yeah, so Thirdweb, we've built upon the OpenZeppelin contracts to provide, like, again, this the idea behind Thirdweb contracts is like this modularity aspect of, we call them like extensions as of right now. But you could create and add these things. Like, we created our claim conditions smart contract, which allows you to set up different types of claim conditions, allow lists, things like that. So our base contracts for like ERC, whatever base contracts you're looking at, are based off of the OpenZeppelin contracts, but just for the use cases in which we built upon contracts for functionalities and things that we wanted to use within Thirdweb, that's where we're going to differ. So base contracts, all still coming from like OpenZeppelin contracts, but we just built more upon them, which is what you get out of the Thirdweb contracts.
All right. Hope Yazib, that answers your question. If not, then you can also drop it in the Discord group now that we know it exists. I think it's like time is over now. So I'm just going to put an ending note that thank you so much, Sean, for taking the time out and going through this with the builders, and they really appreciate it. And I think most of them are going to start integrating Thirdweb if they haven't already, so because it was part of their homework. And if we run into anything, if we have any other requests to go through, we'll definitely come to you. Again, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. If you folks are looking for examples and resources, again, I'll send you folks the links to like all the resources and everything I mentioned. Also check out the YouTube channel. We do have like a basic Unity course in there as well. So if you want to kind of view and learn the things that we went over of like connecting a wallet or interacting with smart contracts, you can take a look at that video. I think it's like 3 hours long, but you can kind of scrub through majority of it and just get to the bits and parts that you want.
Yeah, I think we do have, I think 4 builders that are actually working on Unity projects. So it'd be very helpful for them.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't go over Unity examples. It's just a very complex thing to go over. So
Yeah, no worries.
I
Maybe
apologize.
we'll force you one day. Don't worry. All right, man. Thanks so much again. And we hope to see you soon again.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having
And
me.
amazing work
See you
on the
guys.
YouTube videos, man.
Thanks.
Yeah. Have a good day, guys. Thanks for joining, everyone.
everyone.
Appreciate it. Bye-bye.